This male dwarf honey gourami has been with me for about 8 months now in my planted aquarium, and I just bought him some females. Now the tank's gone through a few months of drama with a number of betta fish that I purchased that did not live very long, so I pulled all the substrate out of this tank, completely reset the tank, and it's looking okay. So I've bought these new female honey gourami ladies for the gentleman over here, and it hasn't turned out the way I was thinking it was going to. The good news is that the new fish are all fine, and they are a more colourful form of the honey gourami females because they've got a lot more colour, which through selective breeding you've got these fish coming through now where the females can be just as interesting with colour as the males, because male gouramis normally have a lot more than a pretty silvery plain female. So I've got these new girls, and the reason I bought 2 girls was because a male can really be quite persistent and annoy a single female, so having 2 females is always a good idea with these sort of fish. But here's the strange thing, so I've now got some bubble nests in the tank. This has only been just over a week and a half since these fish have come into the tank, and the male gourami is the one who blows the bubble nest, and he will wait under that nest and he will try and attract a female. So that is who I think is under these bubbles, males. So the 2 new fish have both blown bubble nests. The first one, a bigger one, he's more active, and this fellow over here, a smaller one, he's more quiet. So it looks as if the 2 new yellowy golden honey gouramis that I've bought are both males. And my original male is on the other side of the tank, just minding his own business, and they're all living quite happily, but there's no way I think I've got a female in this group. So if you've ever owned an aquarium, you'll know that things usually never ever go to plan. So what I thought I was going to do was get 2 girls for my very spectacular looking male and watch what happens, but it turns out maybe I've got 3 males instead. Now the good news is that these particular types of fish are not aggressive enough that, like betta fish, they will cause damage to each other or even harass each other. There's plenty of space in this tank for these small fish, so there's plenty of room to go around, but they're definitely, I think, 3 boys, so not what I was expecting I was going to be doing at all. And on that same subject of the unexpected, we've got a red ram's horn snail, which is not that unusual in an aquarium, but it is unusual in this one because there's 3 quite large clown loaches that live in this tank, and they patrol the bottom of the tank, but clown loaches will move anywhere and everywhere in an aquarium. So the fact that the snail lives up on the surface and has never gone to the bottom means that he's got a comfortable life for the moment, which goes to show that miracles can happen sometimes. For now I've got 3 boy honey gouramis in this tank, and that's how it'll stay. I know that if I introduce any females to this tank now, that'll create probably a lot more drama. So for now, let's just keep the boys as they are and just enjoy watching them swim around this tank. And they are living quite happily, and they're moving around very freely, not annoying each other. That's just the way you want it in a community aquarium, with everyone living peacefully. In this aquarium hobby, there are fish that are very easy to tell males and females apart, and there are ones where it's almost impossible to know unless they're absolutely breeding at that moment. So as we get to this point in the hobby where there's a lot of breeding of more and more interestingly coloured fish from their original less colourful forms, it is getting harder to know sometimes which ones are really females. Males will always have the brightest colour typically, but even those dull females are now getting colourful enough that I can't tell them apart myself. Usually with gouramis you'd look at a shorter, squatter, rounder body, shorter, rounder fins, but these days, look, I can't tell them myself. And on another note, the other thing you can't tell is that this tank now has got no substrate at all, and the plants are growing fabulously. So I've got a planted tank now which has got no gravel, no sand, no substrate, It's got a bare bottom with a very fine layer of iron sand, about maybe a millimetre thick. So it's essentially a bare bottom tank. But the plants are thriving. They are fertilised with a liquid fertiliser. I do have pressurised CO2 that tends to go on a few days a week. I don't do it every single day, and it is going really well. So I've got a very peaceful community aquarium that is full of Java ferns in particular, and so many Java ferns that they take over the tank every few weeks. So there you are, an unexpected turn of events for gouramis and plants. If you've enjoyed today's video, give me a thumbs up, and why not subscribe if you like all things aquariums, fish and growing aquatic plants. Thanks for watching the video, and we'll see you on the next one. Why not click on one of these videos coming up right now.